So there's this one from Akshay Sama. What shampoo and conditioner do you use? So a lot of people want to know that.
I know. For the longest time, I was a L'Oreal guy. Purely because I just thought
I don't actually really care.
change your shampoo every 8 to 9 months because your hair gets too used to the same shampoo if you use it, and it doesn't have the same effect. It might dry your hair up. So keep changing your shampoos, keep trying different things, stick to one for maybe 8 to 9 months and then change.
Are you finished?
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Can we get on with the show?
I thought that was the show.
Hello and welcome to the good, the bad and the ridiculous. Let's get into... Yeah, okay. Let's not talk about how dark it is.
I thought that was an entry for being ridiculous. Yeah.
I've been waiting for him. If you're unhappy about the show being late tonight, just... You know who to direct to. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's his fault. At Coaching by Ram nominates on a scale of 1 to Matthew Wade, how bad was that hoik from Rohit Sharma? And at Pranav Sharma says good Rohit Sharma's instinctive batting nature, bad Rohit Sharma's instinctive batting nature, ridiculous Rohit Sharma's instinctive batting nature.
Rohit Sharma.
Would you believe that I reckon about 98% of today's nominations centred around that shot by Rohit Sharma?
I'm not surprised. And I think more than anything, it was the timing of the shot. Rohit has come out and said, and it's always important to know what the player or the man himself who's played the shot thinks of it. He says he does not regret it. He was just not sticking to his instinct, but that's the plan. His job is to put pressure on the Australian bowlers and make sure that the runs are scored. So he was not doing anything that wasn't discussed in the team meeting. I thought it was really good bowling. In a way, Nathan Lyon kind of cramped him for room. The fielder also had a big role to play because Nathan Lyon loves to have that three-quarters guy at long on. It meant Rohit wanted to go slightly more over mid-wicket. And in all that, he just ended up playing a shot, which I knew would make the good, bad, ridiculous. I mean, it'll fit all segments.
Hang on a second, though. You did actually say Matthew Wade. You did give that your bad the other day. Not many players come out and say, yeah, actually, I really stuffed that up. It wasn't the time to play that shot, and I really regret it.
I'll tell you why it also has riled up a lot of people, because it's not the first time he's getting out to a shot like that. It happened.
And that's what we said about Matthew Wade as well.
Exactly. No, but here the history is not just even restricted to one series.
Yeah.
It goes back all the way to 2014. I think it was Moeen Ali. Southampton, when India really needed Rohit to dig in and bat, he gets out to a shot like that. I think against South Africa in that 2015 series, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, he got out to a shot like that again, jumping out to an off-spinner. So there is a lot of history there. He was batting like a dream at that point. Everything was hitting the middle of his bat. Yeah, it is right up there, I can already tell you, in the bad category, unfortunately.
But you also have to look at the fact of how inexperienced this team is, especially the bowlers. They're in a bat, they've lost the toss, they've had to bat first, they're down a bowler, all of those things. Yeah. So that's when you really, really need your best batters. I mean, we were saying beforehand, you needed maybe one of those four more experienced or ones at the top to actually really make a stand after Australia got those runs. At To Make Change, I think, or at It's a Great Day, I seem to have two handles here, says, good the pitch, something in it for everyone. And it has been I think it's been a good pitch. The fact that you've got cracks already looking quite significant on day two might hurry this game up a little bit.
That's not a bad thing to happen at all, considering this is the last game of the summer. I think everybody would be happy if it ends soon. Not the Indian fans for sure. But unless India win. India are not out of this game yet.
No.
The Gabba has always been a dream to bat on. The only thing is, where we spoke about this in the preview as well, teams have generally landed, got off the flight and just come out to bat. Shubman Gill's dismissal was very, very much like one of those, still in immigration, still in the immigration line kind of dismissal, just hanging his bat out. That's such a classic Gabba dismissal.
Yeah,
but then,
was a classic
the way Rohit and Pujara were batting before Rohit got out, you could see that the Indians, even though Rohit's been here only, he's been out of quarantine only for 10 days, they're used to this bounce. So I don't think when you're used to this bounce, the Gabba is a beautiful pitch to bat on.
Well, we'll look at that ball directly after Shubman Gill got out that Pujara played,
Yeah.
and just a slightly different way that he played that ball with the soft hands. But yeah. So that you could see that he skipped the immigration line and was straight through two arrivals, picked up his bag and plunked it on the Gabba turf.
He is that sort, right? Like, yeah.
Pujara is the sort of guy who'd actually offer to help everyone carry their bags.
Fill everyone's immigration form. That is, I'm
Yes,
so sure he does that.
He would absolutely do. Make sure everyone was okay and on the bus before he got on the bus himself. He would totally do that.
You know what he would be? He'd be the guy when everyone else is like, passed out on the flight. He'll be the one collecting immigration forms for everyone, and like, he would have everybody's passport with him. He'll sit and fill every.
Yes.
Such a nice guy.
At It's Me VBG nominates Ridiculous. Green unable to play pretty much a straight ball from Sundar. That was a weird dismissal, wasn't it? 'Cause we were talking about that before. It was like, at first I thought he was just playing for the turn and it carried straight on, but
He wasn't. Like, I don't know what he was doing, because think about it, right? Right-hander, off-spinner bowling over the wicket. If he was playing for the turn, he's looking there, so the bat would go there. But he almost played the wrong line. I don't know, his front foot went there and this bat was there. It's almost like he's thought Washington Sundar was bowling around the wicket. It was just a bizarre dismissal. I don't know what happened there, but Sundar will claim that he tricked him. And maybe he did. Cameron Green, maybe loss of concentration, just stimp in. He lost stimp in 2 overs before, maybe in the previous over. So, yeah. And that's been the story of the series, right? No team can just push ahead.
we said right at the start of this series that it was two sides with really, really good bowling lineups and flawed batting. You know what? We've basically seen exactly that unfold throughout there, although I think India's batting is slightly better than Australia's.
Definitely, yeah.
Manish Trivedi nominates Ridiculous. Australia failing to score 400 against 3 replacement Indian net bowlers. Not just that, they were also down a bowler, don't forget, too. So they've been without Saini. And you definitely felt that they left some in the shed there with shots like Green, even Tim Payne getting out when he did, all of those. It's just, they've not been able to do that thing that Australian sides could do, of batting first and then somehow going big. The tail has gone a bit backwards in batting. I know some of them did well today, but Pat Cummins' batting seems to have gone backwards. There's not that sort of foot on the throat in the first innings, right, let's absolutely blast them out of the game.
This is not a great Australian team. It's a decent Australian team. Outstanding bowling attack, but an okay batting lineup. It's a good batting lineup when Warner, Smith and Manas are in great form. If one of them is injured, one of them is in... The other two are in good form, like Smith scored like 200s almost in the last test, but it's still a good... That's good at best.
Well, that's the other thing that we said, though, at the start of the series, didn't we? Was that basically, for the past couple of years, that David Warner, Steve Smith and Marnus Labuschagne, in some combination of those, have papered over a lot of cracks in the Australian batting lineup. And we just happen to be having a time right now where David Warner is perhaps not fit completely, and maybe because he's coming off injury, he's not quite at his form. Steve Smith, they've sort of figured him out pretty well, so he's having problems. And Marnus Labuschagne is the only one who doesn't even look great, but he's still finding a way to score.
Exactly.
So that's really the story of Australia's batting.
The great Australian teams knew how to knock teams out. This team has
that's what
just,
I mean.
they just not knocked them out.
They're like, come on.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
There's no water there, but we are...
We're up
I
high.
don't think I'll survive if I fall there, but anyway.
We're up high.
Yeah, no. Where's this
Give it a
aggression
match.
coming from?
Yes.
You should have never spoken about that guy who never called back.
At Raman Sheikh nominates Ridiculous. Nathan Lyon's straight drive as ridiculously good. Not only was the drive ridiculously good, but the smile on his face was so bright, I think it actually would have lit up an entire city. He had 2 shots, basically. He had a sweep and he had a forward defence. and he always looked terrified. Remember how terrified he was in South Africa in that test when Pat Cummins made his debut and he's sitting there like, oh, like the, and he used to get so nervous when he batted, and now not only does he not have that, he's like added a pull shot, he's added the cover drives, on drives.
All credit to his brother Brendan, who's been working on his batting for the last 2 or 3 years. Especially 2 years ago, if you remember, he scored runs against India. He was an annoying presence in the lower order. And yeah, I think it was just meant to be, right? 100 tests, everybody's waiting for him to do something special with the ball. He did get Rohit out, but that shot. Yeah, and he said, later on, he came and told Fox Sports that it was the shot of the match. So he's already decided. And
I think he said shot of the series, actually.
shot of the series, you can't deny him that. It's right up there.
Yash Chawla nominates bad that Indian bowlers don't go wicket to wicket for tail enders when that works with top order batsmen. Again, quite a few nominations for this that weren't in the 98% that were for Rohit's shot. But this is a common one that keeps coming up and up again, that India not being able to bowl out the tail. In their defence in this situation, though, you will say it's such an inexperienced bowling attack. And to go back, they were also down a bowler. So you've got, Siraj putting his arm around Natarajan, walking back. Did you see him at one point? Just went, flicked his hand off as well, like, it's all right, man, I got this.
You played 2 test matches, don't forget.
Yeah, you played 2 test matches, buddy. You're not like,
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, it's been a problem for India even when the Bumrahs of the world have played. I don't know what it is. If you guys know, I think it comes back to that whole thing about not being able to knock the opposition out. And yes,
they need to be fight. So where's your aggression? Come on, man. Bring it.
I'm a peace-loving man. And
that's the
I'm
problem.
not going
That's why.
I'm not going to show any violence against a lovely woman. That's not how it works.
That's why India can't bowl out the tail. It's all your fault.
Because I can't show aggression against you. Well, maybe that she is the tail end. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. What is your goodest thing for the day?
Goodest thing for the day. Oof, that's tricky. I think the fact that Natarajan, Shardul Thakur and Washington Sundar finished with 3 wickets each in what could well be their last test for a while. Maybe the last test ever for some. Who knows? I mean, you never know. They might be the bowling attack for India in the test against England. But Ishant Sharma is fit. Bhuvneshwar Kumar is playing cricket as well. So maybe not. But yeah, I think that was great. And Natarajan leading the team off the field. I mean, in a test match at the Gabba, come on. How can that not be the goodest thing of the whole series?
Okay. What is your baddest thing for the day?
Rohit Sharma, I apologize, but it has to be you.
What was your ridiculousest thing for the day?
Sorry, I always come up with my own suggestion for the ridiculous.
Don't say that, because then they won't bother sending them in.
No, but we talk about all their entries, but I'm sure someone did send this entry. You didn't pick it up. Ooh. Because you guys remember that ball when Manas Labuschagne chased the ball down to final leg. So he pulls it back. I don't think Mel saw it either. He pulls it back. And then as he gets up to pick up the ball, Mitchell Stark is there as well. So both go for the ball and both withdraw. It was the classic Indian scene of aap pehle, main pehle, aap pehle, and which translate to people when you open when you're
it's
entering.
Like, oh no, you go, oh no, you go, you first.
Yeah, you first.
See, I knew that.
Yeah, there you go. It felt like that, and then eventually it didn't mean that India ran I don't think it meant India ran an extra run because of that, but it was very funny to see them do that. They practice these relay things so many times, but there you go. That is my ridiculous entry for the day. You can pick the most ridiculous thing if you want.
No. I'm done.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
It's nearly midnight now, so yeah.
And that's his fault. We'll see you tomorrow.